Hello and welcome to the very first video on this new channel. Firstly, I want to congratulate you if you made it here from the ARG. Good job on cracking the little puzzle I set up on the last video, and thank you for sticking with us thus far. The purpose of this channel will be to document the development progress of my first game, IRATO, which is set in the same universe that I've created. The story follows a man named Michael, who works for the Compendium of Light, one of the major liturgies in the universe. The game itself takes place in the city of Tosrig, a sprawling population center of 500 million people confined to a small valley. But before explaining any further details, let me back up a little. How did we get here? Well, in short, the game is essentially the precursor to what happens in the actual story that I've written so far. The story, Singer of 1,000 Glories Sing in the Sky, is the main manuscript that I've been working on for the past 2 years and what has been the basis for the ARG on the Truth Sayer channel. At this point in time, the story has been taken off most platforms because I realized that I was no longer satisfied with the quality of my work and that I needed to improve it significantly before anyone else could see it. It's largely how the content is presented rather than the nature of it. Writing, as much as anything else, takes a lot of time and work before it starts getting remotely good, so that basically means that I'll be taking all the time in the world to polish and sculpt a story that I can be proud of. So what kind of game is it? It's the first-person survival horror story-driven game. And what does that mean for you, the player? It means that you will have to navigate through Tosrig with a limited amount of resources while having to go to Michael's day job, only to deal with existential horrors after his shift. Now that we've got an introduction out of the way, let's talk a bit more about the technicals. I'm making the game in the Godot engine with a few add-ons that make life a little easier, like Nathan Hode's Dialogue Manager, Funk Godot together with Trenchworm, and some other minor add-ons. Back when I was first starting out, I tried the add-on Dialogic, but I couldn't figure out how to make a custom dialogue box. Dialogue Manager, on the other hand, basically gives you the stock balloon, which is all made up by control nodes, to modify it however you want to. And that's exactly what I did. I turned the stock balloon into a Disco Elysium style dialogue balloon, as you can see here. I haven't quite worked out what the balloon itself is supposed to look like yet, but I'm happy with how it works. For now. The next hurdle that I faced recently is how to store nodes inside of my game. Those of you that are more experienced might rightfully say to use Godot's resources and to just create nodes that way. Instead, I chose to use another data format, JSON. While this approach is way more convoluted, it allows me to have all of my nodes in one place, which in turn allows me to have an instantiated node fetch its text through the node's ID rather than writing the content of the node in Godot's inspector. Since I'm not a Swiss Army knife developer, I can only do so much by myself, so let me introduce you to who is helping me on this project. First up is Chronicler Stau, who, if you remember, helped me on the other channel in the making of this animation video. I say helped, but he really did most of the work while I stitched the video together. Next up is my friend Zenobi, who is responsible for coming up with the concept art for the characters of the game and texture creation. Then there's me, and I'm handling most of the development, writing, and general direction of the game. And lastly, a mysterious artist who will be composing the soundtrack. His identity will be revealed in due time. I'll use this moment to remind you that we're entirely self-funded, and by self-funded I mean that most of us just work on the project whenever we have time, so if you could like and subscribe, it will really help us out. I think that wraps it up. If I had to say how complete the project is, for now I think that I'll put it at roughly 5 to 10%. Thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions, make sure to leave them down below, and I'll see you on the next devlog. Bye!